the scooter scene down here in the RINO district is off the charts. Like, if you're not riding a scooter, you're not cool.
That is true. We
Right.
came in on our own scooters, so we're a little extra basic here to add to the mix. But those accidents, you crash and you're screwed.
Oh, you are, yeah.
Good luck.
You're in trouble.
Oh, man.
No.
Inspired by the adventures of our nurses, therapists, and techs, A Beer with Atlas is the only healthcare traveling, craft beer drinking podcast. Each week, we'll open a few beers, talk about the brewery and the style of beer, and then dive into some research curated specifically for each episode. In the end, we hope each one sounds like a conversation you'd have with your friends while enjoying a few cold ones.
Welcome to another episode of A Beer with Atlas. I'm Rich.
Dolan.
I am not Brian.
Ooh,
Not
what's
Brian.
happening?
Hello, my name is Courtney Figucia, and I am a traveling nurse here with Rich and Dolan.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Okay, so we've recorded on location before. We've recorded with a travel nurse before, right?
But we've never done on location with a travel nurse.
Oh, snap!
Actually, Courtney's idea. So I can't take credit for this whatsoever. When we are on location at Ratio Brewing, and I'll give you the address here. Let's see, Ratio Brewing, located at, I feel so...
Something Larimore, right?
We are right in the RINO district of
RINO
Denver
district.
right now.
There we go. So if you're familiar with Denver, the RINO district has everything you could possibly want and more. I think. Everything is here.
Yeah.
Everything. 2920 Larimer Street, Denver, Colorado. So doing we're finally getting back out and doing meet and greets again, and it feels so awesome. It felt weird waking up this morning and thinking I'm actually going to go do this again because it's been 18 months.
Yeah. I was nervous.
I kind of was too.
I was nervous, yeah.
I was afraid nobody would show up.
Well, I was just like, oh my gosh, people. Like, I used to be able to interact in big groups like this, and now I'm like, okay.
I forgot how it went.
I
It's
don't
like
know how to talk anymore.
I know.
I stood in the mirror and I practiced lip movement, talking.
Dolan was super nervous.
Yes.
All right, Courtney, so introduce yourself. You're on a contract here with us in Denver.
That's right.
Where have you been, and where are you from originally?
Okay, so I am originally from Massachusetts. I have been mostly on the East Coast. So I started as a traveler with Adam Collette in Roanoke, Virginia, and loved it. Stayed there for a year. I ended up taking a permanent job there, and then decided to start traveling again after about a year, and went back to Boston and then Asheville, and now I'm here in Denver.
Sweet. Okay, and I think I know this because you've done a couple different things for us through videos and stuff. Like, if you could go anywhere, where do you want to go?
So Hawaii has always been my answer.
Yeah.
I think everybody would say that, though.
Sure. Why not?
Why not? It is perfect.
Yeah.
But Denver has been quite a blast. We've only been here for about 2 months now, and just exploring day to day has been such an experience. So always recommend it if you are into the beer scene, for sure.
There are some amazing breweries down here, especially in the RINO district. So recruiter Aaron Vaccaro is actually the one that turned us on to this place.
Yeah. We were looking at the newest Odell location.
Yep.
And then she said, you know what, let's go to the RINO district, because there's brewery after brewery after brewery. And so we found this place, Ratio, and it's really, really cool.
My mother-in-law actually said, she's like, what if your travelers don't like breweries? I'm like, I don't know if they would be our traveler if they didn't like breweries. So I don't know.
They would have to like beer.
Look, here's the thing. This is a very heavy metal punk. We've talked about these breweries in the past.
Yeah.
Right? It is so amazingly friendly and welcoming. And there's a dude in there with a blue mohawk.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It is awesome.
And if you're a dog lover, there are dogs all over the patio.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Adorable ones.
Okay, now this beer that we're drinking could fall under the category of weird beers, right? We've had some strange beers before. This might rank right up there with the strangest. What is this beer that we're drinking?
All right, so right now what we have, it's called the King of Carrot Flowers, and this is a carrot and elderflower saison. Take that, ponder that for a minute.
Carrot, and it looks like a carrot. It is as orange as a carrot would be.
Yeah, it's very. I would. You said earlier it was like orange creamsicle, like melted in a glass. That's the look of it.
That's exactly what it looks
how
like.
it is.
And it is delicious. I am not generally a Saison farmhouse style fan.
No.
And we have arguably the number one in the country with Tank 7 out of Boulevard, like right down this, like right 2 hours, 3 hours from us at Boulevard. And that isn't one that I generally would gravitate towards. This is unbelievable.
And I feel healthy drinking it too, you know? Get my vitamins and minerals.
Yeah. I feel more, I'm doing something good for my body today.
That's right.
I walked a lot.
Every time I take a drink, I picture Bugs Bunny, you know. And what's up, Doc?
So Ratio Brewing was founded by Jason Zumbruen and Scott Kaplan. They both University of Colorado grads that came back after 20 years. So they've got to be as old as I am at this rate. They graduated 20 years ago, then came back and opened this brewery in 2015.
Wow.
And have been here ever since. Now, I don't know if they were at this location ever since. It looks like they've been here the whole time. Now, I don't know how old the RINO district is, quite honestly, but I know it's recently exploded. Like this is the place to go if you want to hang out, go to breweries with your dog, walk around. I mean, there's everything.
I mean,
Everything
right across
you
the
can-
street, it's tequila and tacos.
Yeah.
I mean, and then, I don't know, get your nails done right next door.
Yep. There's 2 distilleries within, I can see one of them. And there's another one not too far from here, right? We heard there's a sake place
There is a sake
yeah.
bar, don't forget that.
not too far
Yep.
from here. So
And you just had ramen before this?
I had some amazing ramen like 3 blocks from here. It's an interesting place. Like if you're in Denver, this is somewhere you should probably take an afternoon or a whole day and check out.
100%.
Yeah. And they got it nice. It's very accommodating. We're under a tent right now getting spritzed.
I call them misters.
The misters.
but I
It's
don't know.
97 degrees in Denver today, which is
Oh, it's
weird.
nice.
That's not normal.
No.
But yeah, they blocked the street off, and there's a big tent, multiple tents.
There's
up
some
and down the street.
Beautiful AstroTurf in case you want to get your mini golf skills up.
Sure.
But yes.
Okay, so Courtney, let's walk through because I know you're a fan of breweries. I know you're a fan of beer, and knowing where you're from, walk me through some of your different like brewery adventures as you've been a traveler or just at home, actually on the East Coast.
Sure. So I grew up in Massachusetts. So craft beer for me has been pretty prevalent since I turned 21. Trillium and Treehouse have always been the number one breweries in my mind.
Oh my
I mean,
gosh.
coming from Boston, you can't not love their beers.
Without a doubt.
So I'm a sucker for any type of hazy New England style, extra citrusy, the hazier the better kind of IPA. But today we're changing it up, and I will say this is up there with some of the best beer I think I've had.
Here's the thing: it's as you go through your beer journey, you have your favorites. I love sours, like that's my thing. But I'll always try if it's something weird on the menu. I'll always give your lager a shot. I'll try your Pilsner, like that type of thing.
Exactly. So yeah, I think I've my palate has definitely grown with my experience of breweries throughout the country. So every time I go somewhere new, I'm trying to find the best place I can find craft beer.
What's interesting is coming from the East Coast and having Trillium and Treehouse. Have you had Weldworks? Have you had Juicy Bits? Yeah.
I have not had Juicy Bits.
Okay.
Ooh.
So, what, top 5, Dolan,
I
in the
would
country?
say, yeah. Yes.
For a juicy IPA. Like, hazy, juicy IPA. Weldworks in Greeley, Colorado has, like, taken the beer world by storm with this beer. And it is just as good as Trillium and Treehouse, without a doubt. But that's what you get in Colorado.
That will be added to the list for sure.
It's not far from here. It really
Yeah.
isn't. So, and we've talked about that. We've done their beers before. There's another brewery just down the street called Wiley Roots
Okay, yes.
that does
Yeah.
really interesting beers. They'll do
And-
slushies, and it's fun.
You guys did a episode not too long ago too, I think on Odd 13 in Lafayette, and
Yeah.
they have some
Yes.
great beers
Yes.
too. So
Yeah.
it's just a hub for beer deliciousness in Colorado.
Yeah, we did the Citrico Bombadero.
That's
I
right.
think that was that the
That was Odd 13.
May Cinco de Mayo.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. That was the one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I have,
good.
and I just got this. This just came up. Oh, look at this guy backing up over there.
Food truck. Hey.
Yep.
Yeah, there's quite a few of those.
There seems to be a food truck like on every corner. Though.
Yeah.
Some of the best food here is in food trucks.
Ah,
And honestly,
I
some of
believe
the
it.
best food you can find in the cafeteria style, where there's multiple restaurants all in one building. Amazing.
Yeah. Oh, we have one. We did one. You said this one's kind of giving you like a punk vibe.
Absolutely.
We did a death metal one here in Denver, actually. True Brewing.
That's right.
Company.
Yes.
Strange
Okay.
Gateways. We did their black lager.
that
but-
black lager, which is
Really?
weird.
And
but
then they're
Interesting.
cursed. I think the beer's
The
called
IPA.
Cursed. It's a sour IPA.
yep.
Sour
was
IPA.
And
super
is,
awesome.
Is that the one? We'll have an episode coming up that I want to do with chicken wings because it's a pepper beer. It's made
Oh, no,
with
that's in
habaneros.
Salida.
That's
so
right.
that's south.
Soulcraft.
Yeah, Soulcraft
Oh,
Brewing.
wow.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see about that. Again, another Colorado beer though.
Yes.
This is the hub.
It's everywhere here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's more than just Coors Light.
Look, a Coors Light every now and then is fine. There's nothing wrong with it,
Yeah.
but there are so many good options here that you generally can't go wrong.
That is exactly right.
Yeah.
Bootstrap just introduced, and I thought this was genius marketing, by the way. And not that I watch this at all, right? But they have Bootstrap Brewing has a non-alcoholic IPA called Strapless.
Ooh.
And I'm like, okay, that might be one of the smartest names I've heard yet.
That is very clever.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, super smart. And I tried one ahead of time so I was working, and I thought, okay, it's irresponsible for me to start drinking beer at noon, but this one doesn't have alcohol in it, so I'm going to give it a shot. It was great.
Really?
Okay,
It
nice.
was really good.
It makes you feel better about drinking per se.
Right.
Early in the day.
Yeah, it just looks like a little pineapple something smoothie maybe. I don't know.
Delicious.
Right.
Some juice.
Okay, so as you've gone through your travels, give me like top 3 breweries that you've gone to
Outside of the two you
outside
named
of where we are right now.
That's
obviously.
fair.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man, Colorado has some great ones. But if I go back to Virginia, where I started, I was in Roanoke, which is a small town, but they did have some good breweries there. And one is called Three Notched, which I actually have a tattoo of on my leg of their logo.
Oh, interesting.
Because they have the greatest IPAs there for the Roanoke area and delicious food. So if you're a sucker for Brussels sprouts, this is the place to go.
I'm a sucker for Brussels sprouts.
All right.
Just adding to the carrot beer.
Right?
Okay.
So Three Notched is definitely on the top.
Okay.
I was in Asheville, North Carolina, which also is a huge hub for beer.
North Carolina in general, when we did the meet and greet in Charlotte,
Yes.
pre-COVID craziness, I was talking to the person running the hotel bar, and she said there was some 53 breweries just in Charlotte.
Wow.
Charlotte is a hub for
Yeah.
sure.
Wow.
I actually went to a meet and greet with you all in Durham a couple years ago,
Okay.
and we went to a brewery called Ponysaurus, which was delicious too. So
Was I there?
Ponysaurus?
Ponysaurus. So imagine a horse.
2
and
years
a
ago.
dinosaur.
Was it 2 years ago?
You would have
This
been
was
there.
2 years ago.
So
I
we've
met
met
Adam
before.
then.
Yeah.
So it was 3 years ago.
Oh, you didn't. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was when, Durham. Okay. You know.
Ponysaurus.
So they had great choices that were more of the pale ale and lagers, but
Okay.
it was such a cool venue as well.
Nice.
But going back to Asheville has some of the best beers too. Burial is my top favorite in the town there.
Burial.
Burial.
Okay.
imagine everything like decorated kind of dark, gloomy, but the beers are amazing, and the artwork that they have to promote these beers is stunning.
Nice.
Their stouts are phenomenal, great flavor, great body. Their IPAs are top notch as well. Get great hazies, great florals, great citruses. And the best part is when you're there, you can sit inside of an old school bus and drink your beer.
Really? You know what? I would expect nothing less from a brewery called Burial than like killer stouts.
That's
like I would think
exactly it.
killer, no pun intended. I would think like unbelievable, like over the top stouts.
They were fantastic, very
Nice.
flavorful, great body. I always recommend that to people in town.
Interesting. Okay. So shift gears for me. As you've traveled, you've had perm jobs. Like, give me top 3 like things to do. If you're not, let's say, you're not much of a beer fan, but you want to go see something fun. Top 3 see fun stuff to do
Here in Colorado?
in general.
Anywhere. All right. Well, I'm a huge foodie, so I'm always a sucker for food tours. I'm always a sucker for a good hike, too. So anything where I can go and just see beautiful scenery of the mountains or the rivers, always recommend that. There's just so much to do. Mountain biking is great all over.
Okay.
But
Yeah, recruiter Rainey, she mountain bikes out here all the time.
All the time.
All the time.
the other thing we were talking about earlier are the zoos.
Yes.
Zoos are huge everywhere. Apparently in Omaha.
Yeah.
So I
Yep.
always say now, like, check out the zoos.
You got to come back to Omaha at some point and just go to the zoo.
You know,
I need
it's
to. I will be back.
maybe just only #1 in the world. Nothing, you know.
You know,
You know.
The
humble
animal
brag.
lover that I am. Chubbs and Chester will be making an appearance for
There
sure.
you go.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so what got you into beer in the first place? So mine was I met 2 brewers, and they were amazing guys, and I thought, okay, if these guys like it, maybe I'm missing out on something. So and that's kind of what started me on my beer journey. What got you into beer?
Yeah, so I think you always start out being angsty and young, trying the cheapest beer you can get and realizing
Sure.
it really isn't good.
No.
So you want to see what else is out there. So I just kind of started experimenting with different craft beers back in Massachusetts and New Hampshire. I lived up in Lebanon, New Hampshire, which is right on the Vermont border. So I was just finished college and started having like Alchemist and like
Oh my
so
gosh.
Heady Topper.
So you
and
start with the
Sip of
best beers
Sunshine.
in the country.
Exactly, right at the grocery store. So
Oh my gosh.
I was a little spoiled right out of school.
Wow.
But I actually started brewing myself a little bit too when I was in Virginia. So
Okay.
Really?
I did just a single hop IPA to start, and it was good. And I've been dying to get a little more adventurous now.
Okay, help me. This is interesting. So your specialty is...
Neuro ICU currently.
Okay, and so that doesn't surprise me because that's very detail-oriented, right?
Yes.
So you have to be amazingly detail-oriented to be a neuro ICU nurse, and I know this after working with them for 17 years, and the chemistry behind brewing your own beer. Mm-hmm. So there's some parallels between nursing and brewing?
Who would have thought?
I know.
Whoa. You
That's
can do both.
I think it's the attention to detail and the cleanliness of brewing and the sterile environment, and I never thought about that.
I would be the worst brewer.
You have to be so patient for a batch to be done,
Well,
too.
yeah,
Oh, I have no
I mean,
patience.
see, and that's why when Brian told me, like, oh, you can brew a seltzer in, like, less than a day.
Yeah.
You know? I'm like,
In.
okay, that's my alley. Yeah.
There's
no.
something so rewarding about waiting for your beer, too. Like,
Oh.
knowing you have to wait several months for it to be ready,
Right.
you're just exciting and anticipating it.
The
Downtown
beer's
Denver, ladies and gentlemen.
over here, I guess.
Someone's not happy down there.
They're mad. They're
Oh.
mad that the street isn't open.
Oh,
Maybe,
no.
I don't know. Mohawk guy's leaving. That's too bad.
That is a nice looking mohawk.
That is
It
a
is.
great
Bright
Mohawk.
blue.
Look, I was just telling Rich this earlier. I'm finally watching Cobra Kai,
Yeah.
and I'm
Yes.
in the middle of season 3, and it's totally like
That's
Hawk,
totally Hawk right
Hawk,
there.
Mohawk.
I
Yeah.
always love punk music. I almost bought a Descendants T-shirt the other day to wear when we go down to see Frank Black in concert.
Ooh, fun.
Like I feel like I have to really represent to go to a Frank Black concert, like you've got to wear something like you're not wearing a Nirvana or Pearl Jam shirt. Like you've got to be legit.
You gotta be a hardcore fan.
I guess Iron Maiden, like super old Iron Maiden shirt or something. I don't know. I want to be taken seriously when I go.
Or just wear no shirt and be punk.
Have you seen me with no shirt?
Well, that's what punk is, right?
You do not want to see that. Now it depends on how many Busch Lights I drink while I'm there.
Oh, okay.
I guess that's.
I think you could dye your hair blue though, and you
well,
got a nice little style going.
I mean, it's gray right now, so it's
blue wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, maybe. That's the guy that owns Atlas? That guy with the blue hair? That's weird.
Well, I was going to this punk concert, and I had to seem legit. Okay,
the
that's
scooter
cool.
scene down here in the RINO district is off the charts. Like, if you're not riding a scooter, you're not cool.
That is true. We
Right.
came in on our own scooters, so we're a little extra basic here to add to the mix. But those accidents, you crash and you're screwed.
Oh, you are, yeah.
Good luck.
You're in trouble.
Ah, man.
Okay, so they've got a couple different beers here that I want to try, but we always end every episode with going to Untappd and looking it up. So don't look it up. Don't cheat.
Yeah, you got to
Don't
guess.
look it up. We have to
you gotta
guess.
guess what the overall score is.
Okay.
Oh, shoot.
So this...
And then tell everybody what you would rate it as well.
Right, exactly. So King of Carrot Flowers might be the oddest name we've had.
It's
too.
cool. I wonder what it's based off.
If
it is.
Is the
That is
elderberry
true, the
plant like related to the carrot, or is it called the carrot flower?
I don't know.
I don't
know. All I know is this beer is fantastic, and it, in so many ways, it 3,074 check-ins. Where do you think we fall? 5.9% ABV, which is surprising to me. It doesn't taste like that at all.
Oh,
There's no
man.
bitterness. There's no IBUs in
I
this
thought
at
it would
all.
have been less than that.
I thought so too.
I'm gonna guess it's around like 3.62.
That's a good guess. I was going to go a little higher and say like a 3.81.
3.81.
Yeah.
Okay.
3.99.
Oh,
Really?
Really
okay.
high. And
Okay.
I'll be honest, as Saisons go, understanding where I am in my beer journey,
Mm-hmm.
not really liking Saisons that much. This is like a 4.5. This might be one of the better farmhouse beers that I've ever had.
Look, see, I'm kind of torn. So I have never rated a saison over like a 1.5 because I just hate saison.
It's not your style.
It got to the point where like I just don't order it because I know it's going to. Even when you said, "Oh, you have to try, it's good," I'm like, okay, well, if you two are drinking it, I'll get it for the podcast, and I was gonna suffer through it, but I'm halfway done with it, and it's really good. So, what do? Do I rate it a 5 because it is the best saison I've had?
That's
Okay,
true.
Or
if Brian were here, he would say yes.
yeah,
He would say,
he would.
if this is the best that you've ever had in this category, then it equals a 5.
That's true.
That's
But
true.
since Courtney's here instead,
Right?
Yeah.
I would say rate it amongst all the beers you've tried, and how does it fall with everything else
Oh
you're
my
rating?
goodness.
So
See, that's
hard.
so hard.
Which makes it even harder. So
That's like saying who's a better band, Nirvana or
Ooh.
Metallica?
Well,
That's fair.
That's just, I don't know.
How do you? I mean, you can go even further. The Pixies in Metallica.
Well, look. Here's a totally different category. So
True.
I disagree. I think you have to keep it within the category, because there's beers
That's
like
fair.
sometimes I just want one last beer.
Yeah, true.
And sometimes that one last beer at the end of the night is a Bud Light Lime,
See-
because it's low ABV, and that's okay.
I'm an anticipator though. Like, I don't want to rate it a 5 because I anticipate that someday.
What if you never get there though? Like
this
True.
may be the last saison you try.
correct.
Very true.
'Cause
Oh, I don't
it's
know.
so
this,
good.
You
This
could get-
makes me want to try more.
Well,
you know,
I don't know
instead
about
of
that.
It's
but-
the fruity, florally
Yeah,
healthiness of it
yeah.
that makes you enjoy it, I think.
I think
Sure.
it reminds me of my grandma's cologne sometimes, or perfume.
Yes. Yeah. The flower flavor
Yes.
of it. It
Yep.
absolutely
Like the
does.
the bag. Yeah.
And that's honestly that's Aaron Daly's thing, is like, don't rate a beer low because you don't like the style.
Yeah. See, that's where I struggle. But Yeah, I don't know.
That's a great point.
Right.
Yeah,
Just
you
because you
pick
don't
the
like the
style you
style.
like. That is fair. That is fair.
Right. The smoked beer, the black lager that we've had, like I've rated them low, and now I kind of regret that because maybe in and of itself, in that beer category, it is good.
That is fair.
Yeah.
So
It's a great way to put it.
TripAdvisor says Ratio Beerworks 4.5 out of 5 on 52 reviews. It's the number 55 thing to do out of 245 things to do in the RINO district in Denver.
What? Just in this?
Just down here. It's
Okay.
number 55 out of 245 different things.
Just in RINO.
Just in RINO.
Just in RINO.
Right. RINO
Wow.
is River North. Is that correct?
That's correct.
That's what I thought. Okay.
It's the arts district of
Ooh,
Denver.
the
So
arts.
imagine wall art and street art, murals everywhere.
There's murals everywhere.
Everywhere.
and
Yeah.
all the signs to advertise for it have a rhinoceros and a bird on the signs. I don't know if you've seen the sidewalk art yet on the ground. There's a tiny dino or tiny rhino you'll see painted on the sidewalks.
Like
here.
riding a skateboard.
Yep.
Yes, I did notice that.
Do the
Yep.
sewer grates make noises when you step on them?
Maybe.
Because earlier I was walking over here and I stepped on a sewer grate, and I swear I heard a cow moo.
No, you're just fat.
Oh, darn.
Yeah. No.
I thought maybe that was like part of the art district.
It could be
thing.
part of the art district.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Experience.
this might be one of the coolest places that we've gone to some really cool places for meet and greets before. I would absolutely come down here again,
Yeah, this is awesome.
without a doubt. Courtney, thank you so much. Not only on location, but on location with our first travel nurse. After 150 episodes, I don't know how it took us this long.
Yeah.
That's
no
kind of a big
kidding.
deal.
I know.
Yeah.
Maybe this is the one that finally wins us an award.
Let's hope so. Let's go for that award.
Okay, so we end every episode honoring Brian's dad, and I say we're not going anywhere for a while.
Let's have another beer.
Cheers.
Thank you. Thank you for listening to A Beer with Atlas. Special thanks to our brand team for producing the show. Each episode of A Beer with Atlas is powered by Atlas MedStaff, an industry leader in travel healthcare staffing.